Hello, hello. It is your favorite attorney here, Sylvania Burrows. I'm literally out of breath because I was looking at the time and rushed back to my desk. I need to go live on Instagram as well. Hi, guys, on IG. I am live. Okay. Give me 1 second, you guys, and we're going to get started. Hi, guys. So, if you all saw my flyer, we're discussing money tonight because we have some people or business owners who need some guidance, or if you're just a normal working person, that's fine too. But I am here to give you guys some information on what is available to help you during this crisis. Hi, Nigeria. Boop one time. So I'm going to put out some poll questions as well, and we're also waiting for some people in Facebook to join. So just give me 1 second. If you do have any questions about what kind of benefits are available for you in this current climate with COVID-19, go ahead and put that into the comment box, and I will make sure I address that for you. So again, we're here for Let's Talk Money, trying to impart some knowledge in regards to what benefits are out there for you to take part in. And if you're here live on Facebook, make a comment so I know that you're here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and get started. Again, my name is Sylvania Barros. I like to say your favorite lawyer here in Illinois, also barred in Wisconsin. I am a sports and entertainment, business, labor, and employment attorney. It is my goal to apply legal innovation that you can trust to implement creative strategies to support your needs through education, support, and guidance. Tonight, we're talking about money, money, money. Like that one movie said, I can't remember the guy's name, Jerry, I think. Show me the money. So we know that almost the entire world has been dealing with a global crisis of COVID-19, the coronavirus 19. But one thing COVID-19 has given us, or at least we should be thankful for, is that it has shown us that we need to take a pause and really focus on the things that matter to us, right? What is most important? And I've said this plenty of times before, whether I just come on for a very quick live or if I'm just making a post, we take life for granted too often. We take time for granted too often, and it's very fleeting. When you have the opportunity to get your life in order, you need to take it by the horns and do it, because you never know when you'll have another chance. And tomorrow's never promised to us. And so COVID-19 has definitely reinforced that notion, considering that we're all dealing with this major pandemic. So I'm going to go ahead and get into some financial things. Oh, and I do want to let you guys know, as far as a disclaimer, I am not a financial representative, okay, by any means necessary. I am a lawyer, but either way, by watching this video, I am not giving you personalized advice. This does not create an attorney-client relationship or financial advisor-client relationship. This is just for information purposes only. If you have any particular questions, please feel free to either send me a private message, or if you have a generalized question, you can post those in the comment box and I will respond to it. If you have something that's more peculiar to your own individual needs, I think it may be necessary that you don't air that out on social media. You can send me a message to set up an appointment. And if it's something that I can't answer for you, I will make sure that I get you in front of the right person who can help you and give you the value that you need. Okay. So I want to get started, guys, because I've been researching a lot of stuff for you all in order to educate you properly on some of the benefits that are out there. There's a lot of things now that are in place that I'm not going to go over because we'll be here all night. And number two, I don't think that you all may need every single thing that's, for instance, in this new stimulus package. So I'm just going to kind of go point by point for some of the notes that I wrote and give you those things. Like I said, if there's something, if you're in a particular industry and you're curious as to whether there is something available for you, please let me know. It may be in my notes and I can just tell you what it is. If there's something that is, that you want to know in a more particular sense, and maybe it is an issue of confidentiality, it may be necessary for you to go ahead and set a meeting with myself or with one of my other professional partners that I can link you up with, okay? So you all probably, if you've been following the news, you probably already know that your student loans right now are at a 0% interest rate, okay? I don't know how long that is gonna last, but one thing I can tell you, that if your student loans are owned by the U.S. Department of Education, which became effective March 13, 2020, they're more than likely at a 0% interest rate. Now, if you need to extend the 0% interest rate on your payments, or have your loan servicer postpone it, I'm going to tell you, you need to call your loan servicer and make sure, if you have been impacted by COVID-19, that you get this done, okay? Everyone's loans are different. Everyone's servicers are different. Like I said, I don't know how long they're gonna keep the 0% interest rate going for the duration of COVID-19. I don't know when that's gonna end, okay? So you wanna call your loan servicers and see how long is this supposed to last for your U.S. Department of Education loans. And if it's gonna end pretty soon, then just make sure, hi Natasha, just make sure you call your loan servicer and see if you can request for reduction in your monthly payments or postpone payments altogether, all right? Because most people aren't working, you can't go to work. And if you can't go to work, you can't pay your bills. And if you're a small business owner or entrepreneur and you can't, you can't see your clients, your customers, or whoever that makes your business go around, then this may be an issue for you if you have student loans, okay? All right, we're going to get into the, you know what, let me touch on this really quick before we get into the stimulus. All right, taxes. Now, for a disclaimer, I am not a CPA. Hi, Rhonda. Oh, I'm sorry, Mama. For taxes, tax day is now extended to July 15th. Now, this is provided by the IRS website. You can go here yourself and check it out and read up anything that they have to say about taxes. So the IRS has extended their filing deadline in federal tax payments, regardless of however much you owe. All right. They do urge you, though, if you are due a refund, to file as soon as possible. So for me, I electronically file my taxes with my CPA. He does that for me. He sends me over the document, and I just send it in with my payments because I owe taxes almost every year. I wish I didn't, but I do. So if you are due a refund, you should still try to file as soon as possible. If you need a CPA, please let me know, send me a message, and I will put you in contact with one of my professional partners who can help you out and get that done, because at the end of the day, if they're going to extend to July 15th, what does everybody do? They always wait till like the week of or the day of to file their taxes so they're not late. And then you're waiting months and months and months to get your check because everyone has filed it the exact same time. So try to file your taxes as soon as possible if you can, if you know that you are due a refund. So most tax refunds are still being issued within 21 days, so that's good to know. The IRS has already also stated that they will continue to monitor issues related to the COVID-19 virus and provide updated information, on irs.gov when they have it. All right, so we've dealt with that. Let's get into some key points of the stimulus bill. And please feel free to reach out if you have any particular questions. All right, so we know that the stimulus bill has been passed for purposes of COVID-19, and they basically call it Coronavirus Aid, Relief, and Economic Security Act. They call it the CARES Act, CARES Act, okay? One of the biggest things that I want to share with you all is the small business interruption loans. And you guys gonna have to bear with me because it's so much information. I want to make sure I give you everything that I have. So get your notepads out or whatever you need to do, because you need to make sure that you look into this stuff and you take advantage of the opportunity of the help that's being given, okay? I made a video one night talking about closed mouths don't get fed, and it is absolutely true. If you want something, you have to open your mouth and do it. Or in this situation, if you want something, you better put your pen to paper and get it done. All right. So in the stimulus bill, if you are a small business owner or entrepreneur, there is interruption loans available. Okay. So the bill expands the eligibility for small businesses. So that's 500 employees or less. Okay, you can receive a loan of up to 10 million under the Small Business Act. Now I pulled that up. Now I'm in Illinois. Okay, so if you are in a different if you're in a different state, you want to make sure that your governor has pretty much ruled your state to be a disaster area, and also request support under small business. And I think that was under the Stafford Act. So let me just make sure. Yes. Okay. So as a small business, okay, so economic income disaster loans, which is what I'm talking about if you have 500 employees or less. All right, guys. So it's only available after your state governor makes a disaster declaration pursuant to the Stafford Act. Okay, and then the president, of course, have to approve the declaration. So then they will assess the needs or financials of the individuals in that area, the population, so to speak, and how they would distribute those funds. So basically, like I said, small business, your 500 employees or less. And let me give you some tidbits on that. So how do you qualify? So the SBA is going to look at the size standard. So something we kind of already talked about. Whether you're classified also as a small business for the SBA and federal contracting programs. Do you need collateral for the economic disaster loan? Yes, generally, but they're encouraging you to still apply because they will not reject the application if you don't have collateral, because collateral is normally necessary for any loans that are $5,000 or more. All right. So if you have any questions at this point, please ask me so I can make sure I give you the information necessary for you to make the right decision for you. Let me see if I have anything else on that. Okay, here are some tidbits to keep in mind for the small business loan. All right, so those loans may be used to pay fixed debts like payroll, accounts payable, and other bills that can't be paid because of disaster's impact. So hence COVID-19, if you can't go into work, you still have overhead costs that have to be paid. Your employees have to be paid, and we're going to get into that a little bit soon too about the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. And so those overhead costs is something that you may want to try and get down with the utilization of the small business loan. So the interest rate is around 3.75% for small businesses, and the interest rate for nonprofits is 2.75%. So that's not bad. Also, the SBA is going to offer loans with long-term repayments so that they can try to keep the payments affordable and up to a maximum of 30 years, guys. And of course, the terms are going to be determined based on, case-by-case basis. This is not going to be a bandwagon type application for everyone. It's going to be on your own business, your particular needs and concerns as a small business owner. All right. And we'll get into a little more of that on the Illinois side, because there are some benefits available. Yes. So a question was asked on Instagram, did you say nonprofits will qualify? So you still have to apply. And if you go to, so you can apply online for an SBA disaster assistance loan. And I do have the number available for you all as well. If you need more information on the SBA disaster loan, there is an assistance customer service. You can call 800-659-2955, and they should be able to help you. But yes, Natasha, there are loans available for nonprofits. So the interest rate for loans offered by the SBA will be somewhere around 2.75%. And of course, the term of paying the loan will be on a case-by-case basis. And so when you go online to apply for the disaster loans, and here is what the printout looks like, if you can see that. Okay. All right. Let me tell you what the eligibility in terms are for, and they call it EIDL loans. Okay. So the eligibility in terms, now this is what the Small Business Association is saying, that interest rates on EIDLs would not exceed 4% per year. The term of these loans will not exceed 30 years. The repayment term will be determined by your ability to repay the loan. So a business may qualify for both an EIDL and a physical disaster loan. The maximum combined loan amount is $2 million. All right. Now, let me just tell you what substantial economic injury is based on the economic injury disaster loan. Okay. This means the business is unable to meet its obligation and to pay its ordinary necessary operating expenses. EIDLs provide the necessary working capital to help small businesses survive until normal operations resume after the disaster. Now, like I said, the SBA can provide up to $2 million to help meet your financial obligations and operating expenses. And your loan amount will be based on your actual economic injury and your business's financial needs. So this is not going to be a windfall to you. And of course, you wouldn't want to get a windfall loan that you can't pay back. So this is also one of those things where you need to make sure that you're making a very educated and smart decision on whether this is a loan that you need and if this is a loan that you'll be able to pay back once this disaster is over, once this economic injury is over with COVID-19, because you don't want to end up setting yourself up for failure even further if you're trying to apply for something that you know you're not going to be able to afford to pay back later. All right. So you may be eligible for the SBA Economic Injury Disaster Loan if you're a small business, a small agricultural cooperative, or like a private nonprofit organization. Now, why that loan would be useful? Well, Bill HR 6201, the Families First Coronavirus Response Act. All right. This bill, like I said, you need 500 employees or less, and it's basically mandating that covered employers, provide paid leave for employees affected by the coronavirus if those employees are unable to work or telework, okay? And so this is going to be segmented in two different components. So either there's 2 weeks, 80 hours of paid sick time at the employee's full regular rate of pay, subject to dollar caps, and this is reduced to 2/3 pay if the leave is due to caring for others. And the second component is 10 additional weeks of FMLA leave, but only for those who must stay at home to care for a child whose school is closed. So you guys know a lot of schools have been closed to keep the kids home. All right. And these 10 weeks will be paid at 2/3 the employee's regular rate of pay, again, subject to dollar caps. So one thing that you need to think of right now as a business owner, if you have employees, first off, are you required to provide FMLA under this act if you have less than 500 employees, or paid leave if they're unable to work or telework? You need to really think about that for yourself, because after the dust has settled, you don't want to be in litigation dealing with payroll issues or failure to provide actual benefits to an employee that they were entitled to. So you really need to think about that, guys. All right, and then also this bill provides payroll tax credits to offset all costs of providing those paid leaves. So this is a good thing, because this is something that most people have not planned or prepared for. And if you have to provide additional leave, that, you know, something that is more than what was already prorated or planned for, as a business owner, at least you can deduct these costs as payroll tax credits. And like I said, the tax deadline has now been extended to July 15th. All right. All right. Let's look at, oh, and you guys, so who is this person? Okay. You can also go to McDermott, Will and Emery Law Firm. This is where I gave you information about the HR 6074. I love the way that they wrote this article and laid everything out. You can get more information on it. Their article was prior to the bill being passed, but now it's passed, so we know what's happening. So that's where I got that information from. Before we move on to another part of SBA, let's talk about unemployment benefits really quick, because that's also part of the stimulus. All right. So part of the stimulus bill expanded unemployment benefits. Now, I'm not going to dive into every single piece of the stimulus, y'all. It's just going to take way too long. But I want to give you the nuggets of what came out of this. Okay. So expanded unemployment benefits. So now the stimulus expands unemployment insurance from 3 to 4 months and provides temporary unemployment compensation of $600 per week, which is in addition to and the same time as regular state and federal unemployment insurance benefits. Okay. So now part-time, self-employed, and gig economy workers now have access to unemployment benefits. If you are part-time, if you are self-employed, and a gig economy worker. So a gig means, say you're a musician, but your bread and butter is going and playing at restaurants. Well, restaurants here in Illinois have been mandated to shut down, for what I remember and understand. So if you're a gig employer, if you're a gig economy worker, you can access these unemployment insurance benefits. So I would recommend that you definitely go to the unemployment website and see how you can apply for these benefits, because they're out there. It doesn't make sense to leave money on the table, all right? Especially if you needed to pay your bills. This benefit also allows employers to receive an advance tax credit from the Treasury instead of having to be reimbursed on the back end. That's a good thing. And there's also going to be $260 billion investment into the unemployment insurance program, which is going to help to make sure that these unemployment compensation is available. All right, let me make sure I'm not missing anything from that. Okay. Direct payments to citizens. So I think you guys know that there have been some talk in regards to stimulus checks to individuals. I think this part is it. So part of the stimulus is stating that direct payments to lower and middle income Americans will be, individuals will get $1,200 and married couples will get $2,400, and then $500 per child who's younger than the age of 17. Okay. Now the payments will phase out for individuals with adjusted gross incomes over $75,000 and $150,000, which is combined income for couples. So if you're someone who's making over $99,000, you will not get a payment. All right, and that's $198,000 for couples. So if you apply for this, the money is expected to go out April 6th. That's coming up pretty soon. Let me see what April 6th is. Yep, that's in like a little over a week. Okay, so if you know you need this check, I would urge that you go ahead and apply for this. Like I said, the numbers are individuals will get $1,200, married couples will get $2,400, $500 per child who's younger than age 17. But the caveat is you cannot have gross income over $75,000 if you're an individual, or combined income of $150,000. And anyone who's making over $99,000 would not get a payment. All right, and that's $198,000 for couples. All right, so we got that. All right, do I have any questions at this point? Any questions? All right. We talked about student loans and the suspension of student loans. Okay, I'm going to go over a few things in the small business grants and loans assistance here in Illinois. I would suggest that if you are in a different state, that what you do is look at your state and see if there have been any emergency small business grants and loans assistance provided by the governor of that state. Okay. Let's see if I can see. There we go. Hi, my mom just joined, Miss Iris Bailey. All right, so here in Illinois, the governor here is J.B. Pritzker, and there have been a lunch emergency assistance programs for Illinois small businesses. Now, like I said, there could be something similar in your state. I would suggest that you get online and look and see if your state have provided, hi, Unpat, if your state has provided some assistance for you. Okay, let me do a quick recap since we have a few people that just came on. We talked about the economic injury, let me make sure I'm saying this, yeah, economic injury disaster loans with the SBA, which provides up to $2 million for small businesses, small agricultural cooperatives, or small private nonprofit organizations who've been impacted by COVID-19. And then there's also information that I shared, so I'll make sure that I save this video and reshare it so that everyone can get the tidbits that we talked about. But we also focused on the 6074 bill, which talked about the excuse me. No, I'm sorry. The 6201 is the one that we kind of broke down, talking about the Families First Coronavirus Response Act, because the small business employers with 500 employees or less are still required to provide paid leave or FMLA coverage to employees who are unable to work or telework. So we went through that and some of the things that are provided. We just talked about the direct payments to citizens, and those numbers were individuals get $1,200, married couples get $2,400, and then $500 per child younger than 17. But your adjusted gross income has to be, payments phased out for individuals with adjusted gross incomes over $75,000, and that's $150 for couples. Anyone making over $99,000 would not get a check, and that's $198,000 for couples. And then money for that is expected to go out for April 6th. Okay. All right. So here in Illinois, getting back to this, if you are in a different state, please check with your state and see if they have a separate SBA assistance dealing with COVID-19 pandemic. All right. So in the SBA the Small Business Grants and Loans Assistance here in Illinois, they are providing help for hospitality employers, Downstate Small Business Stabilization Program is another one that they have. I thought I seen something else before, but maybe I was in the wrong place. All right. So for the Hospitality Emergency Grant Program, so if you own a restaurant or catering or what have you, as long as you have a valid license to serve food or liquor, and if you generated revenues of less than $1 million in 2019, you are eligible for the Hospitality Emergency Grant Program. And hold on one second, guys, as I have a question on Facebook. The question is, do they look at your entire income? In my case, military pension as well. I'm glad that you joined us. So I didn't go over military because no one was on here for military, but there is a military reservist economic injury loan. You can see that here. All right. So what you want to do is go to the SBA website. I didn't print it out, but I can find the information and send it to you. But go to the SBA website under disaster assistance loans, and they will have information there in regards to the military. And you can also call this number, which is 800-659-2955 for more information. Also, guys, I totally forgot this email at the bottom. So if you want to email someone, it may be quicker to get through. It's disaster customer service. Sorry, you guys can't see me. Disaster customer service at sba.gov. Okay. So let me show it to Instagram as well. So here's the military. I hope it's not backwards on your screen, but if it is, I'm sorry. Military reservist economic injury loans. All right. All right. So Hospitality Emergency Grant Program. So this program, to help hospitality businesses make ends meet in the midst of COVID-19. Let me see, how much are they trying to give you guys? Okay, so bars and restaurants that generated between $500,000 and $1 million in revenue in 2019 are eligible for up to $25,000. And bars and restaurants that generated less than $500,000 in revenue in 2019 are eligible up to $10,000. If you are a hotel that generated less than $8 million in revenue in 2019, you're eligible for up to $50,000. Now, I actually have a question for myself. Mayor Bailey says she just sent information for SBA in Florida. Did you send it to my email? Okay. I have a question though, not to you guys, but just kind of rhetorical because we're in this Airbnb type time. Okay. So I wonder if Airbnb type property owners can benefit from the hotel, hotel's assistance. So let me see. That may be a good question to communicate with customer service to see if you do rent out your home like a hotel, or you have property that you rent out like a hotel, if you qualify for that. But maybe not, because it says who is eligible, valid license to serve food or liquor. So, well, I don't know, because it says hotels, motels, other lodging establishments. All right, so keep that in mind. All right, by text, okay. Email, let me see if I can get this up for you guys, because at least I can tell you what's happening in Florida. If you're in Florida, let me check the email that I just got. All right. Okay, so if you want to contact the Small Business Association in Florida, their phone number is 305-536-5521. You can also visit them online at sba.gov/South Florida. Let me see if okay, that's all the information I have on that one. But that information, well, if you call them, they'll be able to give you information in regards to the economic injury disaster loan if you're in Florida. Okay, let me just get one quick sip of water, guys. Okay, so Illinois Small Business Emergency Loan Fund here in Chicago. So any businesses who are located outside of the city of Chicago, okay, with fewer than 50 workers and less than $3 million in revenue in 2019 will be eligible to apply for this particular loan. All right. So if you are successful in being granted this loan, you will owe nothing for 6 months and then begin making fixed payments at a below market interest rate for the remainder of a 5-year loan term. That's not bad. So this is going to be starting Friday, March 27th. That's today. And if you're interested, I would suggest that you go ahead and apply. All right, so you have to make sure that you have 50 workers or less and you made less than $3 million in revenue in 2019. All right, so that's going to be easy for a whole lot of people if you've made less than $3 million and you have less than 50 employees. All right, so if you want to apply, all you have to do is complete an interest form on the web page of the SBA with Illinois and go ahead and get started for that. All right, downstate small business stabilization programs here. So this fund will offer small businesses of up to 50 employees the opportunity to partner with their local government to obtain grants of up to $25,000 in working capital. All right, and those will only be offered on a rolling basis. So to be eligible for this, you have to have 50 employees or less again, and you need to be in a down state from Chicago. So, all right, so that's it for that one. All right, guys, let me look at this list because I want to make sure I give you what I can. So we talked about student loans right now, 0% interest. If you're wondering when that will end, definitely get on the phone with your loan servicer and see if they can either extend the 0% interest or make a reduction in your monthly payments or postpone it altogether, especially if you have been impacted by COVID-19. Taxes have been postponed to July 15. If you will be expecting a refund, you absolutely want to go ahead and file as soon as possible. We talked about the economic disaster loans, and then there's a viewer who asked about military pension benefits. So you want to go to the SBA website and see what type of benefits are available for your particular circumstances. So for disaster loans themselves, there are 4: home and personal property loan, business physical disaster loan, economic injury disaster loan, which is the one we spend a lot of time on, and military reservist economic injury loans. All right. So I'm just going to give you guys the small little snippets that they have on the website for who these loans are for. So for the home and personal property loans, if you are in a declared disaster area and are the victim of a disaster, you may be eligible for financial assistance from the SBA, even if you don't own a business. Okay. So if you are in an area that's been impacted by COVID-19 and you are a victim of COVID-19, you are eligible for assistance, even if you don't have a business. I'm getting information that property taxes in Florida have been extended to April 15 rather than March 31st for Florida. So that's good. But still, that's going to come pretty quickly. If you are in Florida, just keep that in mind. All right. The business physical disaster loan. So any business or organization located in a declared disaster area and that incurred damage during the disaster may apply for a loan to help replace or restore damaged property. Okay. The economic injury disaster loan is for anyone who is in a declared disaster area and have suffered economic injury, regardless of physical damage. You may qualify for economic injury disaster loan, or EIDL. And lastly, the military reservist economic injury loan is for anyone who has an essential employee who is a military reservist called to active duty. The SBA provides loans to help eligible small businesses with operating expenses. All right, that's what I got on that. I'm just going to flip back through this stimulus and make sure I didn't miss anything for you guys. Oh, if you are a student, let me look and see if it's in this one. If you are a student, there may be some assistance for work study programs. I just want to make sure it made it into the final bill before I actually tell you that. Because there was a whole bunch of stuff in here that, like, it's just, you didn't really need to know, but let's see if it's in here. So yeah, you definitely want to check and see if you can still get work study payments for that. And I don't think there were some people on the call when I was talking about the unemployment insurance, so that has been extended too, and especially for part-time, self-employed and gig workers. So you want to look into that and see if you are eligible for those benefits. Okay, so this is really good too. So if you know anyone who has an organization that's trying to help the community or assist in any way, so part of the human services portion of the stimulus says that $1 billion to the community services block grant will go to help local community-based organizations that provide a wide range of social services and emergency assistance for those with the highest needs. There's also $900 million for the low-income home energy assistance program to help families and provide assistance in managing costs associated with home energy bills, energy crisis, and weatherization, and energy-related minor home repairs. So everything is like so up in the air for a lot of people, because if you can't go to work, there are a lot of things that you still have to pay to make sure you can live. You guys, You're going to have to make sure you reach out. I can only just be the messenger of this information. It's going to be on you to put forth some action to make sure that you can receive the benefits that are necessary for you to get through this, whether it's just taking care of your own family or just taking care of your business or both. Okay. All right. And that's pretty much it for that. Do I have any questions? Do I have any questions? Or did I just do a fantastic job in 45 minutes? Whoop, 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 whoop. So, above all, regardless of what's happening right now, I do want to remind you to just take a look around you and remind yourself of what's important. Remind yourself of, in the midst of a crisis or a disaster, there is always opportunity in the midst of it. There is always, in my opinion, a blessing in the storm. And so sometimes life throws us curveballs, which are to be expected, but they throw them unexpectedly. And it makes us take a moment and truly ponder on what we are doing. And this is a moment in time. If you haven't got your life together, get your life together, get your financial life together, get your business life together, whatever you need to do to be happy, to live in your purpose, to understand why you're where you are and what you need to do to get beyond that point. Like I said, because we just don't know. We don't know what tomorrow will bring. Like, this thing can be over tomorrow and everyone can go back to the way things were, but do you really want to? So also think about, what are you doing to help your fellow man in this situation? If there was to be Armageddon, which I kind of feel like we kind of are in right now, but if there was to be an Armageddon, how would you want to be remembered? Do you want to be remembered as someone who's hoarding everything and taking things that other people may need, or do you want to be remembered as someone who always was there to help the next person? Someone who always was there to build up somebody else. So I really want you guys to think about that, because it's times like this where we truly see the true nature of people. Are people really reaching out and giving back, or are people trying to maximize on your sorrow, your pain? And it's not cool. So let's stick this thing out together. Next week, I'm super excited, because if you caught my very small intro video earlier today, next week is gonna have some webinars on health and how to maintain your health. Maintain your health. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm tired and I'm thirsty. So I do want you guys to tune in, and also please make sure that you watch my Facebook page so that you know when those webinars are going to be. If there's a subject that you want me to cover while I still have the time to do it, send it to me and let me know. Correct. So I got a comment that said, most companies are not forgiving bills. They are only delaying or postponing. So when this is over, we all will be expected to continue our obligations, which is very true. And then I was also reminded that people need to be mindful of spending and your bills, because this is not a vacation. Unfortunately, a lot of people feel like it is, because they're doing and spending, crazily. But when this is all over, you still got to pay the gas bill, the light bill, put groceries in the refrigerator. If your kids attend private school, you got to pay for tuition or what have you. And you need to be mindful of the fact that these companies are not, they're not wiping out your debt. Okay. They are simply postponing it. So you should be, if you have the funds, you should be putting up your money every month as though you're paying your bill. Or if you can just go ahead and pay it, just pay it so that you don't get behind. I'm one of those people that I just pay my bills, because if I got the money, I'm just paying it because I don't want to have to pay it later. That's just me. But I understand that there are some people who are not making their money or have received their last check and it's impossible for you to pay. I just want you to keep in mind that those bills are going to continue to come. So whatever money you do get, this is a moment where you can truly hone in on your budgeting skills. Okay. Get only what you need. You don't have to get anything in excess, only what you need, so that you can make sure that you can take care of yourself and your family when things have gone back to normal. All right. I absolutely appreciate you all for tuning in and sharing this video and asking questions. I will be around even after COVID-19. My name is Savani DeBarros. I am the owner of SL DeBarros Law Firm. I practice in the areas of business, sports and entertainment, labor and employment. And it is my goal to educate you, support you, and guide you through any issue that you may have. Okay? I look forward to speaking with you guys again. Like I said, watch out for my page for additional webinars next week. Mostly I'll be talking about health. Okay? So, and I've also been given another tidbit that most companies do have a disclaimer on their websites, which emphasizes the same thing, that they're only delaying your payment. So be mindful of that. It was a great pleasure to serve your needs, and I look forward to speaking with you at a later date. Good night.